The Titans go down in week 1, 38-13 to the Arizona Cardinals. A very disappointing loss indeed. We're talking about here tonight on Titans Talk, the first edition of the season of Titans Talk. 737-7767 is the number. We would love to hear from you. And Wayne has been nice enough to call in. Wayne, you are first up here on Titans Talk. Hey, Wayne, are you there?
Yeah, Steve. I got a question I'm going to ask and get your take on it. And,
sure.
And just about the defense. The Cardinals have scored 38 points, and I was hoping defense would be more improved than that. We got a defensive, I think, advisor down there. I don't know what his job description is. Mr. Schwartz, Mr. Jim Schwartz has got a name in the NFL as being a good defensive-minded coach. Just what is his job description? If you know, I'm going to back out and see what your take is.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Wayne. We appreciate the call. Jim Schwartz is just that. He's a senior defensive advisor for this Titans team. He is around practice every day. He's in all the meetings with this team, and he just kind of helps them go through with what they want to do. But make no mistake, this is Mike Vrabel's defense first and foremost. He's the guy who believes in what they're doing, and Shane Bowen's been with them for a long time. And Shane Bowen is the defensive coordinator now. He's the guy that calls the defenses for this team. So that's where it all starts, but there's plenty of talent, so to speak, on this staff. You have Schwartz there. You have Jim Haslett, who's a former head coach in this league, coaching linebackers. So it's a collaborative effort, but it really starts with Mike Vrabel and Shane Bowen. They do expect this defense to be better. It was not a good performance yesterday. You give up 418 yards. I think one of the most frustrating things was the fact that Arizona was 7 of 13 on third down, so better than 50%. And remember last year, the Titans were historically bad at getting off the field on third down throughout the course of the season. Now, the one thing I'll say about yesterday is some of those plays were just terrific throws or individual efforts by Kyler Murray. There are a few different third downs that I can think of. There was a third and long, I think it was 14 yards in the first half, where he scrambled and scrambled and scrambled and finally found a guy open for a first down. Then later on that drive, they had another third and long, and he had a beautiful touch pass that went right into the breadbasket of Christian Kirk with Kevin Byard all over him. It was pretty good coverage all the way around by the defense as a whole and by Byard. It was just a better throw and a better catch and a first down for Arizona. And then, of course, in the third quarter, you had that kind of miraculous play that Murray made where he scrambles to the right and then backs up and goes behind the line of scrimmage and weaves his way through a few guys to the left side, and then he backs up once again and fires downfield for a completion and another first down. Those were 3 of the 7 third down conversions by Arizona yesterday. You had another one where he just had a guy basically run a go route and he threw it up and Kirk beat Elijah Molden. I don't know if that is so much to blame on the defense. I mean, ultimately, that's where the buck stops. You have to be better than that. But some of that yesterday was just a great player making great plays, and I think to a degree you tip your cap there. But the defense does have to be better. It has to find a way to impact the quarterback more than it did yesterday. It has to find a way to blanket receivers better than it did yesterday. And it cannot give up the big play in the manner that it did yesterday. It just can't do it. Those X plays will kill you. You have to make teams drive the field and earn it, as Mike Vrabel said. And the Titans did not do that yesterday. There were too many of the X plays in there. So to be frustrated about the defense, absolutely, they have to improve. That was the talk of the offseason. They knew it. And in week 1, they were not better, at least from the statistical standpoint. And the other thing you got to be frustrated by is this offense, because you knew the defense was going to be a work in progress. You hoped that they would be better, but nobody thought this was going to be one of the best defenses in the league just based off of the talent. The talent on the offense is good enough to be one of the best offenses in the league. And the idea they went out yesterday and scored just 13 points, which matches the season low from last year with Julio Jones added in. Now that's where some real concern should be, because they've got to be better than that, because this defense isn't a world beater. The defense is not going to shut people out. It's not going to hold people to 8 and 9 and 10 points a game. They're going to have to overcome that. They're going to have to score points to win games consistently this year. And 13 points isn't going to get it done. They've got to be better than that. They've got to be better than they were yesterday at Nissan Stadium. It was a frustrating day. It was not the day that announced the Titans as a true contender in the AFC. Our John Burton takes a look at what went wrong in this postgame report.
They were bad on offense, they were bad on defense, they were bad on special teams. It was complimentary football in reverse for the Titans on Sunday in an ugly season-opening home loss to the Arizona Cardinals.
You play like that, there should be no shock. We shouldn't have to look too long and hard why you lost the game. There's a lot of reasons it's out there. Everything that we preach and teach, and try to execute, just wasn't there.
The Titans offense committed 3 turnovers and failed to establish a run game with Derrick Henry. And the offensive line allowed 6 sacks, 5 of them by Chandler Jones, who dominated the left tackle combo of Taylor Lewan and Kendall Lamb all afternoon long.
He's been a really good player his whole career. We're trying to do some things to help in protection. He made some plays.
When they call a play, we got to execute it. No matter what they're doing, it's all about what we're doing and beating the man in front of you and, making efficient plays, play after play.
On defense, the Titans had no answer for Cards QB Kyler Murray, who used his mobility and his arm. 289 yards passing and 5 total touchdowns.
He's an amazing player. They went out there, executed their game plan, and made a lot of plays, and we just didn't. We didn't make enough plays, and the score showed that.
He does what he does. It's very frustrating when you get close to him and can't get him down. When he's making those cuts on a dime, it's very frustrating.
It's only one of 17, but the Titans know performances like the one on Sunday won't get the job done.
Wake-up call for us. You just can't show up and win games. So I'm hoping that we take this and we come out with our hair on fire next week.
All right, fellas, a lot to unpack here. Pretty much all bad, though. Keith, I want to start with you as a former player. You wait all off season and grind through training camp to get to opening week. How does a team come out seemingly not ready to play? As Chris Berman once said, what?
Well, it happens. Like you said, you train, you practice, you get ready all year for the game, and you go out and you lay an egg. And with this abbreviated offseason, I don't feel as if the team had enough time to get that cohesion that they needed. Obviously, Arizona did what they needed to do, but I think with the different situations with the Titans during this training camp, there were not enough game time reps to get them ready for the first game of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to question that limited work now in the preseason in terms of how they're ready for week number 1. Jonathan, we were also eager to see what this offense would finally look like with Julio Jones out there with Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown, but I don't think anybody imagined this start. Just 13 points matches their season low from last year.
Yeah, and we're still waiting to see this group come together because this was a lackluster performance from that trio and really top to bottom across this roster, Steve. Julio and A.J. really didn't even get involved until the second half. And Derrick Henry, they tried to get him going. Arizona was ready, and early and often they were slicing him down at the line of scrimmage. The more physical team was the Arizona Cardinals, and that's what's so puzzling about today. I never expected them to get whipped up front against Arizona like they did.
Hey, the Bucs started 0-1 last year and went on to win the Super Bowl, so it's not all a loss perhaps, but certainly a humbling start for the Titans indeed. Thanks to Keith Bullock and Jonathan Hutton, as always, joining us on the Electric Power Company Sunday Sports Central to help break that game down. We'll have more from them coming up here on the program, but one of the things that was talked about all offseason, really, all preseason, even as he wasn't getting any work, was what are the real expectations for Derrick Henry this year? 2,000-yard rusher last year, just the 8th man in NFL history to do that. He's back-to-back NFL rushing champion. He's the best running back in football right now. But what could he do in year 3, and how would he start? And the answer was slowly yesterday. And he got hit a bunch behind the line of scrimmage. I'm not putting this on Derrick Henry. When the space was there, he made something out of what he had. But there was not a lot of space, and he got hit a lot in the backfield yesterday, and he just had to deal with that over and over and over again. He ends up with 18 carries for just 57 yards, a ho-hum day for Derrick Henry in a big way, and a big reason why the Titans offense struggled in the way that they did. So let's go to the post-game podium where Derrick Henry, who's not always one with a lot of words, was pretty talkative yesterday. And I find this interesting because another scene, if you captured it on the sideline yesterday during the game, was there was a moment in the first half where Derrick Henry lit in to his offensive line in a way that I have never seen him vocalize his leadership with this team. And it was all about just trying to wake guys up that, hey, the season has started. It is time for us to go here. But it is clear now, after everything he has accomplished, he's not just a star running back. He is one of the true leaders of this football team. And yesterday after the game, he took some of that ownership that this team has to come together and it has to play better than it did yesterday. Here is Derrick Henry at the podium after the game.
Derrick, is there a balance you guys have to find between, hey, we've got 16 games left, but also that wasn't very good and we have a lot to correct?
Yeah, that definitely wasn't us. But I don't think you panic. I think you just you come back in tomorrow and you just make the corrections. You know, we know we have to be better. We for sure have to be better. You know, on all 3 phases. And you know, you get hit in the mouth like that. It's about how you respond. And you know, we just got to come in with the right mindset of making the corrections. And you know, moving forward.
Or maybe a little shell shocked early. You know, so much expectation. You guys are so hyped, ready to play, and then it's 17-0 early. How tough is that to dig out of? And was there almost a feeling of maybe disbelief early on?
No, not really. I think we don't try to find no excuses or make any. We just got to play better. Got to come out, you know, trying to make plays and you know, doing whatever we can to put ourselves in position to win the game. And today we didn't do that. They played way better than we did.
How come it was so difficult to get the ground game going today?
You know, it takes all 11. We all got to be tied in, and you know, I don't feel like we were today. And I'm sure we all think as individuals and as an offense as a whole, we just have to be better. And for us to have success in the run game, we just got to be, you know, tied in and being locked in on what we got to do each and every play.
So they packed the, I mean, I guess you're probably used to running against packed boxes, but did they do so even more so than most today, the Cardinals?
I mean, they had guys down there, but when they call a play, we got to execute it. No matter what they're doing, it's all about what we're doing and beating the man in front of you and, you know, making efficient plays, play after play, you know, and we know sometimes it's going to be dirty runs, sometimes you're going to have a little adversity, but it's just, you know, just keep fighting and keep playing, and, you know, they just did a better job at that than we did today.
In that first half, you got hit behind the line or behind the line 8 times, -3 yards. But what were you seeing that was happening to allow you to get hit like so early after getting the football?
I mean, they just did a good job on defense of disrupting plays, and we just got to be better on offense. And that's what it comes down to. We have to be better. I don't think we need to make no excuses, you know. You know, you can see it out on the field. We have to be better on offense and for us to have success and do the things that we need to do.
There was a point when the offense gathered, and we saw something from you that we haven't really seen a lot of. When you got emotional and you were really getting after them, what were you saying to them, and why was it so critical for you to say that at that point?
You know, just telling us that, you know, we got to play better. You know, we look kind of lackadaisical, just walking around, not playing how we play, not, you know, playing up to the standard that we all talk about, that we try to do each and every day, that Coach Vegas talks about, and just trying to remind guys, we gotta pick it up, gotta play better. Those guys, hitting on all cylinders on the side of the field. So just trying to pick these guys up, trying to be the best leader that I can, and get the guys going so we could play better.
Kind of surprised, Derek, that as you said, we haven't seen that much from you before. You kind of surprised that it came to that you had to, take matters into your own hands a little bit.
That's what it takes. That's what I'm gonna do. So it's probably different from y'all seeing me do something like that, but I'm proud of myself on being leader of this team, and that's what it takes. That's what I got to do.
How should guys respond to a game like this? How do you expect guys to respond to a game like this?
Come in, watch the film, get coached. Be critical of yourself. Be locked in this week each and every day. Leaders got to hold everybody accountable, and we got to be leaders. But I think we just come in with a growth mindset, want to be better, and come out here and come out there and be better each and every day. From the film and to the practice field, and just chunk this one up. We got hit in the mouth, and just about how we respond, like I said.
Really nothing else to say about the butt kicking. That is indeed what it was, and now the question is how quickly can the Titans bounce back? Go back to work this week, make those corrections, and be ready for a game on Sunday in Seattle against a good Seahawks team. Kickoff at 3:25. Of course, you can watch it over on News Channel 5. Phone line still open here tonight, 737-7767 if you'd like to join in on the conversation. What did you make of that mess yesterday? How concerned are you now about this Titans team moving forward? We'd love to hear from you, engage in the conversation with you. We'll also get into some of the keys to the game yesterday, of where things went wrong for this Titans team, what has to get corrected, and we'll look at some of the key plays at the video board with former Titan Keith Bullock as well. Stay tuned. You're watching Titans Talk on News.